Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Welcome to the 4th ICANN-APAC TWNIC Engagement Forum with the 39th TWNIC IP Open Policy Meeting. Today's forum is jointly organized by ICANN, the Internet Corporation for Assigned Names and Numbers, and TWNIC, Taiwan Network Information Center, with the support from the Ministry of Digital Affairs. The forum serves as a regular platform to engage different stakeholders and to enable discussions and exchange. In the morning session today, we're going to have in-depth discussions on internet governance, regional collaboration, and interoperable internet. This forum is made possible under the auspices of the Ministry of Digital Affairs. So to kick off today's forum, please welcome Minister Audrey Tang of Digital Affairs for her opening remarks. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Minister Audrey Tang.
Distinguished guests, board member and CEO of TWNIC, Huang, Vice President and Stakeholder Engagement and Management Director of ICANN-APAC, Jia-Rong, and Director General of APNIC, Dr. Paul Wilson, and esteemed experts, scholars, and all people committed to one internet, one world. I welcome you to the first ICANN-APAC TWNIC Engagement Forum and the 39th TWNIC IP Open Policy Meeting. It is my pleasure to extend the warmth of greetings to all assembled today. For many years, Taiwan has depended on TWNIC to aid our government and indeed our society in adopting innovative internet technologies and especially collaborating with diverse stakeholder groups to advance the development of, among other things, IPv6, domain names, systems, and so on within Taiwan. As of this April, the registrations for .tw and .taiwan domain names surpassed 530,000. This forum addresses issues such as internet cybersecurity, internet governance, domain name market trends, international cooperations, and so on. And the primary aim is to explore internet policy development by gathering input from various communities and come to a rough consensus and hopefully running code. It is also, I think, very important that this multi-stakeholder model, this living proof that multi-stakeholder governance works, serves as an example for our ministries and our municipalities and everyone in our public sector to join this common vision of one world, one internet to build a stable, advanced, and secure internet that is shared by all. Now, this vision is very close to our core mission in the Ministry of Digital Affairs, which is called Digital Resilience for All. Resilience, as you know, means the ability to quickly recover from adversity and growing after an attack. And it includes three pillars, which I will recap very briefly here: societal, industrial, and emergency resilience. Societal resilience, focusing on the empowerment of our civil society by connecting the democracy network worldwide. We initiated the digital news co-prosperity dialogues with global platforms such as Meta and Alphabet, and brought together on our side the Ministries of Culture and Fair Trade Commission, National Communication Commission, and so on to explore ways to fostering mutually beneficial cooperation with Taiwan's print, broadcast, and digital journalism. And we believe that accurate news reporting is the bedrock of democracy, and digital competence requires a well-informed and discerning citizenry. And in the face of authoritarian expansionism, democracies must confront very formidable challenges, including, as of this year, interactive deepfakes that undermines the delicate equilibrium between societal well-being on one side and individual liberty on the other. Our efforts must go well beyond devising protective measures, because what we need is a trajectory embracing the triad of participation, progress, and safety through the power of collective intelligence. And the TWCC session discussed how to enhance the resilience of network operations through our TWCC notification threat indication sharing mechanism, allowing all internet users to obtain the best protection And the plenary session of TWIGF explained how governments can ask internet platform operators to avoid presenting clearly illegal internet content and design appropriate regulatory policies to ensure responsible monitoring. Now, the industrial resilience arm is our commitment to facilitate digital transformation across all business sectors while fostering a robust ecosystem. Now, as all of you probably know, Taiwan possesses the most highly advanced IT industry with the world-class semiconductor supply chain. And that supply chain has a wealth of experience neutralizing cyber threats. With global standards such as SEMA E187, we elevate this Made in Taiwan brand to represent a guarantee of integrity and a solid shield to our democratic partners. Now, in response to the cyber threats, TWNIC has also arranged relevant material, including 2 keynote speeches to discuss the establishment of internet governance norms by multiple stakeholders, enabling the development of networks that meet the need of security from all sectors. And additionally, TWNIC and .Asia CEOs will introduce the content of the MOU signed between the 2 organizations last year and their established industry cooperation mechanism and framework, and how this mechanism can enhance the ecosystem of network operators, including the security cooperation and also to prevent the continuous expansion of cybercrime. Now, we also welcome everyone to express their opinions and suggestions on these critical issues as a reference to future policymaking in terms of industrial resilience. Now, finally, emergency resilience impels us to effectively respond to various earthquakes, various crises, whether natural or unnatural, and recent incidents, such as those during last year's former U.S. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi's historic visit to Taiwan. We saw the threat actors unsuccessfully attempted to undermine public trust in our democratic system. And to counter such coordinated emerging threats, including, as I mentioned, AI-powered spear phishing and interactive deepfakes and so on, we are consolidating public and private cybersecurity capabilities, implementing the zero trust network architecture, and conducting exercises, including actual red team exercises with our foreign counterparts, to ensure the seamless operation of critical infrastructure, even when all our submarine cables are disrupted by earthquakes. And so we're integrating new satellite providers this year, enabling multiple non-terrestrial networks to reinforce one another across land, sea, and air in times of such crisis. And so, in the cybersecurity 6th session of this forum, we have invited ICANN's Regional Technical Engagement Manager in the Asia-Pacific region, Champika Wijayatunga, to share more stable and secure DNS best practices in times like this, and examples to help us ensure safe and reliable operations. Now, in last year, I signed the Declaration for the Future of the Internet, or DFI, along with 60 partner countries. The declaration cemented our shared values and deepened our commitment to democratic allies, and it paved the way to free the future in the digital realm together. Now, it also highlights the need for the global multi-stakeholder participation in governing the internet together as a digital commons. I am thrilled to see that this conference has invited the representative from many Indo-Pacific countries to explore the impact of internet regulations. The MODA, our ministry, will certainly continue to encourage and advocate for the sharing of not just digital transformation, but also resilience for all, promoting our common beliefs in democracy, peace, rule of law, sustainable development, and upholding human rights on this cyberspace. In closing, this event, I think, provides an excellent opportunity to delve deeply into global internet issues, and I look forward to standing shoulder to shoulder with Taiwan and all stakeholders that care about Taiwan in pursuing digital resilience for all. So let us work together to create a better future for the digital age. I wish this forum a successful and very fruitful outcome. Thank you all. Live long and prosper.
Thank you very much, Minister Tang, for your opening remarks. Minister Tang, please take your seats downstage. Thank you. And we want to thank the Ministry of Digital Affairs for its full support in improving the resilience in the digital age and to improve the digital resilience for all. So once again, thank you, Minister Tang. Next, we would like to invite Mr. Jia-Rong, Vice President of Stakeholder Engagement and Managing Director at APAC ICANN, for his remarks. So ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. Jia-Rong.
Minister Audrey Tang, Kenny, CEO TWNIC, Nicole and my friends, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. My name is Jia-Rong. I'm based in Singapore, and I head up the ICANN Asia Pacific office that looks after the whole region. I'm very grateful for the partnership with TWNIC, that we have this shared vision to bring the conversations that's happening globally about internet governance here into Taiwan, and to bring the conversation closer to you so that you can help to participate in the multi-stakeholder model that Minister Audrey Tang mentioned earlier. Now, we have pretty strong participation from the Taiwan community, but there's a few things that we can do a bit more and work together a bit closer, because we have a very strong, robust, very vibrant IT sector here in Taiwan. And the key question is, how can we work together even further to bring this very strong sector to participate even more in internet governance? Now, typically, if we follow just economic indicators, people won't be very interested in the topic of internet governance, because for them, they want to follow what's most sexy. You know, every year I will talk about something new. Like last year, we talked more about blockchain, metaverse. This year, everything is about AI. AI, more AI. How is that linked to internet governance, and why should people care? Now, all these new technologies that we are sitting on and being very interested in today cannot exist without the digital age, cannot exist without the internet. So in our space, in our community, we help to keep the internet working. And only if the internet continues to work and evolve can then the internet support the new technologies that we are all looking at and being very excited about. So it's important that we all come together to look at how to continue to evolve the internet so that it suits the needs and purposes of whichever new technologies that you might be excited in, or whatever else that you are doing, fundamentally, even be it for most basic things like education. So what's very clear for most of us today is, alongside essentials like water and electricity, internet, as far as I'm concerned, and probably everybody in the room as well, is an essential good that you need. Why? Because the first things that people come into a room, wherever you go, the first thing you ask is, what's the Wi-Fi password? Extremely important. And I think it's important for us as a community to be working together. Now, the next point I'll just make very quickly is, why do we have this forum? I kind of alluded to this earlier. It's to help to bring the conversations here to Taiwan, because there are many conversations happening globally. In ICANN is a global organization, and we work with multi-stakeholders across the world. But those conversations happen in different places, in different time zones. How can we bring those conversations closer to you? Now, the next thing also is, I'm very happy and proud that this forum can be a collaboration, also together with the IP Open Policy meeting with the numbers community. So I'm very happy that we have Paul Wilson here with us today. It's because there's this question, like, what does IP addresses have to do with domain names and DNS in general? Well, everything. Because we are one community that makes the internet work, and for the internet to work, you need three things. You need IP addresses, you need domain names, and we need to code our devices in the same language. In other words, they all share the same protocols. These three areas are extremely important, and all of them need your participation to help to evolve them. Now, one last point I'll say is, let us keep working with each other and having conversations with each other. So hopefully we can bring the conversations to you here in Taiwan. And also let's think about working together such that the voices here in Taiwan can be heard regionally and globally. So one small shout out for another event I'm organizing. It is called the APAC DNS Forum. We'll be organizing that in Hong Kong on the 4th and 5th of July. And we will cover some similar topics and also some broader topics as well. And hopefully we can see some participation here from the Taiwanese community. And I'll be excited to look forward to seeing you there. But first, let's enjoy all the conversations that we can have here in this event today and tomorrow and build a stronger network amongst ourselves. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Lo. Mr. Lo, please take your seats downstage. As highlighted by Mr. Lo, as the internet evolves, it is essential and necessary to engage multi-stakeholders and to keep the conversation going, and that's why we're having this forum today. Next, we would like to invite Mr. Paul Wilson, Director General of APNIC, to say a few words. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Mr. Paul Wilson.
Good morning, everyone. Minister Audrey Tang, Dr. Kenny Huang, Jia-Rong Lo, very good to see you, and many friends here in the front row and in the room. I'm Paul Wilson. I'm the head of APNIC, and I'm very glad to be back in Taipei after a few years to see you all again and to be here at the fourth of the TWNIC engagement forums with ICANN. This really is a unique event, an important event that brings builds bridges between the local community here in Taiwan and with the global community around the issues that are addressed jointly by ICANN and TWNIC. APNIC's very happy also to be a part of this community, to be working with you all, with TWNIC in particular as a very close colleague over many years actually, because this actually is also the 39th of the TWNIC Open Policy meetings and the 20th year, I think, of Open Policy meetings for TWNIC, which is a fantastic achievement for you. So congratulations, Kenny, and all our colleagues and friends at TWNIC. TWNIC is just one of 8 national internet registries in the APNIC region, and it's certainly one of the leaders in supporting a local community in Taiwan with all of the services of an NIR, and doing that to a very high degree of quality and competence. And TWNIC also provides a bridge, very importantly, as an NIR between the TW community and the regional community. We see this in the proceedings of this meeting in not only holding an address policy session as a very important part of the bottom-up multi-stakeholder policy management process, but also in special interest groups on cooperation and routing and others, which are promoting direct channels between this community and the regional and global communities. So this is a rich, multi-dimensional process. It's a great example of multi-stakeholder internet governance, whereby communities of different interests come together and they find important intersections, parallels, similarities, differences that wouldn't be exposed without this process of coming together in this kind of forum. So this year, it's a special one for TWNIC. It's a special one for the global multi-stakeholder community because, in fact, there's a global IGF meeting, the UN IGF meeting, which is coming up in Japan later this year. Now, I realise that people in Taiwan don't necessarily have access to that event, but you do participate in regional events and, of course, in the local TW IGF. And the thing is that the thing that's important, I think, is that the mandate of the IGF is not quite clear after 2025. And whatever happens, I think we need to be very active here and into the future in the defence of the internet that we know and love. We refer to it at APNIC as the open, global, stable and secure internet. and in defence also of the multi-stakeholder model of internet governance, because that model has been around since the beginning. It was only discovered, actually. It wasn't invented. It was discovered about 20 years ago, again through a UN process of the World Summit of Information Society and the Working Group on Internet Governance. But it has existed since the beginning of the internet, and it was the discovery of the Working Group that it is the critical thing that distinguished the internet from its competitors at the time, that has made it so successful over the last 20 years. And if we think about what's happened, well, since the beginning, and if we think about what's happened over the last 20 years, in spite of all of the debates and tensions over internet governance, it has continued, the internet has continued to succeed, and it has boomed, expanded, and become that much more incredible over that intervening period. So it's not really a well-known system or aspect of the internet, particularly not to the vast majority of people who use and benefit from the internet. But the thing is, in this room, it's something that we cannot take for granted. It's something that needs to be protected, and that process involves everyone in this room and also our counterparts, our colleagues around the region, around the world. So that's what we're here for. I think great credit goes to Minister Tang for her recognition of the ongoing support of internet governance and the multi-stakeholder processes, as she's made so very clear here today. So again, I say to everyone here, TWNIC and those in Taiwan should be proud of the role that you play, that you have played and will play, and I wish you every success in this endeavour. I also commit APNIC's ongoing support in whatever way we can help, in future. Thank you very much.
Very much, Mr. Paul Wilson. Mr. Wilson, please take your seat downstage. And we are very glad to have APNIC as a supporting partner of ours. Last but not least, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Dr. Kenny Huang, Chairman and CEO of TWNIC, to say a few words. Let's welcome Dr. Kenny Huang.
Good morning, everyone here, and good afternoon and good evening to everyone who joined online remotely. Thank you for joining the ICANN TWNIC Engagement Forum, and Minister Audrey Tang, and also Paul Wilson from APNIC, and also Jia-Rong from ICANN, and also a lot of distinguished guests from different areas from different countries. Thank you for joining this particular forum. And right now we are running to the fourth ICANN TWNIC Engagement Forum. And basically, since we established the forum, it's become a unique place to allow the internet builder to get together and they discuss the things that we care about. So we encourage everyone to join that kind of particular forum. As Jia-Rong just elaborate, basically internet pay attention to three components. The first component would be communication protocol that was running in IETF. Second component was the domain name that under the administration under ICANN. And third component would be the number resource under administration in different regional internet registry in Asia Pacific that was specific to APNIC. So although we are bottom-up decision-making process, we encourage all the multi-stakeholders to join the discussion, but they are rules and policy developed by the community. So that's why we have the idea to establish that kind of communication forum to allow different stakeholders, they try to exercise what kind of policy and rule has been running within the ICANN regime or APNIC regime or even IETF region, although we don't have particular people from IETF, but I believe a lot of ICANN staff and a lot of APNIC participants that do deeply involved in the IETF decision-making process. So go through the communication, we can exercise the decision-making process and to familiar more about the multi-stakeholder model. And you won't be engaged unless things that matter to you, and you won't be engaged unless you are part of the decision process. That's why we have the forum. Thank you again to join the engagement forum. I wish you have very fruitful discussion today and tomorrow. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Huang. Dr. Huang, please remain on stage as we're going to invite our guest of honor onto the stage for a group photo. So Minister Tang, please join us on stage for the photo. Mr. Jia-Rong Lo, Mr. Paul Wilson, Mr. Edmund Zhang, Mr. Josh Kelmer, our two keynote speakers, please join us on stage, as well as Ms. Nicole Chan, Mr. Guo Wei Wu, and Mr. Akinori Maimura. Please join us on stage for the group photo. We want to thank all guests of honor for taking time out of your busy schedule to join us today, and that's seize this opportunity to have a group photo. All right, so let's take a look at the photographers, which is at the front, at the back, and the big smile. Let's take the first photo first. All right. All right. A little bit to your left, a little bit, yes. All right, so please look at the photographer over there and the big smile. All right, thank you. Can we have the classic Taiwanese gesture for the photo? Thumbs up. All right, at the photographer and the big smile, thank you. All right, thank you very much. Thank you. Please take your seat downstage. Thank you, and thank you for joining us today.